Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're breaking down a huge Bundesliga matchup, FC Bayern Munich versus Hamburg SV. Now, I know what you're thinking, first place against 15th. Sounds like an easy call, right? Well, we're going to give you the tools to look way beyond the league table and see where a massive upset might just be hiding.
All right, so let's get right into it. On one side, you've got Bayern, just cruising at the top of the table. And on the other, Hamburg, battling it out down in 15th. I mean, it's a classic David versus Goliath story, and you think you know how it ends, but do we really?
So, is this really just an open and shut case? A foregone conclusion? Nah, no way. If you want to predict what's actually going to happen on that pitch, you've got to dig a whole lot deeper than just the rankings.
Okay, but before we really get into the nitty-gritty, let's just lock in the key details. The game's going down at the Allianz Arena in Munich. Mark your calendars for September 13th, 2025.
So let's do exactly that. It's time to move beyond the league table and uncover the real story of this match.
You know, any real analysis goes way deeper than just who's winning. We've got to ask the tough questions, like what's Bayern's recent form really like? Are they actually firing on all cylinders? And maybe more importantly, what kind of tactical magic can Hamburg pull off to counter a team that just loves to hold on to the ball? That's what we're here to figure out.
So how exactly do we answer all those questions? Well, you need the right tools. Think of it as the analyst toolkit, a set of key metrics that'll help you read the game's true narrative.
And these are the big ones. I mean, they're not just numbers on a screen. They're chapters in the story of the game. For a team like Bayern, yeah, you're going to expect to see high ball possession. But for Hamburg, the really crucial number might be big chances created. Can they be absolutely clinical with the few opportunities they're likely to get? And you'll want to keep an eye on the duels stat too. That'll tell you if they're managing to physically throw Bayern's midfield off their game.
Now, this is one of my favorites, and it's amazing to watch live, attack momentum. This metric basically shows you, in real time, who's dominating and putting on the pressure. So even if the scoreboard says 0-0, you can actually see if Hamburg is just barely surviving a storm, or if they're starting to build up a dangerous counterattack of their own. It's a total game changer for watching a match.
Of course, a team's performance is really just the sum of what every single player is doing out there. And to figure out who's truly making a difference on the pitch, each player gets their own specific rating, all based on a ton of data.
So when you see a massive number like a 9.5 pop up next to a player's name, you know they're having an absolutely incredible game. But what does that number actually mean? How does an algorithm even begin to decide that?
Well, it's actually a pretty cool process. First, the system gathers hundreds of different data points for every single player. Then, it weighs those actions based on how important they are. So, obviously, a goal is going to be worth a lot more than just a simple pass. And finally, all of that gets crunched together into one single objective rating.
And here's the best part. You don't have to wait for the analyst to break it all down after the final whistle. You can actually use this whole toolkit to read the live game as it's happening.
That's right, this basically puts you right in the analyst's chair. While the match is going on, you're not just tracking goals, you're watching that attack momentum swing back and forth, and you're getting a much deeper feel for who really has control of the game.
So once you have all this information right at your fingertips, you can start making the call yourself. You're not just a spectator anymore. You can actually form your own prediction about the match, and one that's built on data, not just a gut feeling.
And hey, you can even put your analysis to the test against the wisdom of the crowd. This here shows how the entire community thinks the match is going to play out. It's a great little snapshot of what everyone else is thinking based on all the same data.
And at the end of the day, these data-driven insights are super practical. They'll help you make sharper predictions, they'll give you real context for betting odds, and they can even point you to where you can find a legal live stream to watch the action.
So if you want to put your new analyst skills to the test while you're actually watching the game, here's how you can find it. You can check the TV channel section or look for links to legal streams. Just make sure you don't miss a single kick.
So, when Bayern and Hamburg finally take the field, you'll have all the tools you need to see past that simple first versus 15th story. You'll be able to track the momentum shifts, spot the players who are having a world-class game, and see who's creating the real chances. The only question left is, which statistic will you be watching to find the true story of the game?